Clearly, I need a glow up. Let's talk about the monthly favourites. If you didn't see my favourite product of 2024 that I'm going to be using in 25, I couldn't keep my mouth shut about, I'm using this, I'm using that. So I was like, do you know what? You are just due an update. First product is this brow texture product by Ellie. I ordered this off of TikTok Shop because I'd seen so many of the girlies using it, raving about it. And I've got like soap brows, I've got loads of soap products, I've also got the pear soap, but sometimes I just feel like it flattens the eyebrow hairs a bit too much. So I smother my eyebrow hairs. Yep, they look crazy in this product, and then I brush them up. They do look a bit nuts at first, I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like I've got such a love-hate relationship with my eyebrows. Then just grab like any spoolie, brush the hairs up again. Okay, this is my spoolie brush, so the end of it, I like to just go over and flatten it down. I use the end of my brush like this. Then I'll grab the brush and I do a literal line to the end and then down. So it looks like this. And I just try to make sure they look kind of similar. I think this side's a tiny bit higher there. I have a feeling this might be a little bit of a chatty video. So do you know what? Just feel free to ding me on in the background whilst you get ready yourself, or hopefully you're just chilling whilst watching this. And then I just go around the eyebrows with the wipe, just make sure there's no residue, because otherwise your like concealer and foundation and bronzer just sticks to it. Now, another thing that I've been obsessed with, which you probably would have seen in my previous video, if you haven't seen that one, I definitely recommend you to go and watch it. Obviously, it's my video, so I'm going to plug it here. Why would I not? But this is this lip mask here. You girlies weren't lying when you put me onto this. Like, this is absolute, just 10 out of 10. I feel like whenever I film now, like on my Instagram and TikTok, I'll always prep my skin and have this on. Speaking of skin prep, we're gonna slide in there with my next product. Look at that. All right, so this is the Haru Wonder Black Rice Moisture Airlift Daily Sunscreen. So it's an SPF. I really like this because I've done all my other skincare and obviously the SPF goes on last. Previous to this, there were two other SPFs that I would use like religiously. But this one, oh my God, the consistency is so thin. Look at that. It just looks like a lotion. And I haven't found an SPF this thin. And it just makes my skin feel so nice and hydrated, which is weird because obviously it's an SPF. It's there to protect your skin from pollution and sun damage, UVA and UVB rays. And when I come on camera and I have this on beforehand, like just look at that glow, it just boosts my confidence a little bit. I just feel like my skin no longer looks dry, and it's just the consistency. This is a brand new Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter because I finished my other one. That just shows you how much I've been using this and my e.l.f. Halo Glow are like my most used radiant products. This and that SPF, no words. No words. Shade number 4, if you were curious. I do use shade number 5 in the summertime. I've seen some TikToks where some people are like, I just can't get on board with Charlotte Tilbury. But I feel like I'm the total opposite. This brand just has me in a chokehold. Like, obviously some products within the brand are better than others in my opinion, and there's some things that I would always repurchase and some things I wouldn't be that bothered to repurchase, obviously, like every brand. But Charlotte Tilbury, like their base products, they just do them so right. It's giving oily goddess. Hate to be the one to tell you this, but this is so lovely and so beautiful. I really, really like it. One thing about me is I like to use a mixture of high-end and drugstore. I'll never just use mainly like one or the other. I love the mixture and I feel like you can get such good products in the drugstore. But this foundation, it isn't cheap, but it is so beautiful. I use the shade 270 light medium neutral. I do not know why I pumped so much onto the back of my hand then, because that is such a waste. I'm actually really regretting it. Maybe let's just scoop it back into the bowl. I really want to try the House Labs concealer because apparently that is so nice as well. I hope the camera is not doing me dirty right now because the base looks like creamy radiant butter. Another product that I've been using so much since I purchased it, I got this from Boots, Collection Instant Sculpted Contour. I feel like Collection have gone and made a comeback. I feel like they kind of disappeared for a while and I was like, oh my God, where did they go? And now they're coming back with an absolute bang. But this little contour wand is so affordable and it is so creamy, blends out so nicely. And the thing is, when I start with like a radiant base, so you know, something like this or even my moisturizer or a lotion, I just feel like my products blend and go on so nicely and they just merge together really well. I feel like I got a hair on my lip. I definitely did. Just look at that. How well does that blend? It's like, what, $5.99 or something? I don't know, but off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure I paid around that for it. Obviously, I've had it for a while now. It's really nice, and for the price, like, do you know what I mean? You really want to make your jaw look sharper, go up under your ear. Sorry, you might hear me like tapping with all my rings around the mic and my earrings. Go right up behind that ear roll, boom, like that, and then down. And that will help make your jaw look sharper from the side. Back in with my foundation brush just to make sure everything melts together. Just before I go in with my concealer, I am going to take some of this blush here. This is a Huda Beauty Ube Cream. I did like a first impressions on this on my Instagram and TikTok. The longer version is on my TikTok, of course, because you're allowed more time on there. And I did a short version. I also think I put the short version on here on my YouTube Shorts. I do try to upload on my YouTube Shorts as well. This colour is so lovely. Like, it really is such a beautiful pink. I know it's like a lilac pink, but when I blend it out on my skin, it obviously is giving more pink than lilac in my opinion. And I like to bring that all the way down to give a nice little flush. I think I'm going to go over a little bit more. And I like to bring that right under because it has that sort of like pinky tone. I really feel like it helps with my under eye bags because, oh my God, they've been so bad recently. I feel like as I've got older, I've just become a lot more of a lighter sleeper and things just seem to wake me up a lot easier now. I don't know. Anybody else having this? Speaking of collection, we are back. The collection, Lasting Perfection, ladies and gents. Does anyone remember this concealer? Back in the day, she had all the UK girlies in a chokehold. The consistency of this is delicious. So thin, adding a bit more light just into the center of the face. Up near this side, I'm going to go right into the corner of that eye, but then I'm also going to bring this down to my laugh line. I feel like it just really brightens up this area and helps lift the laugh lines a little bit, and then blend whatever's remaining up. Just going to use the blusher brush now to merge the two together. This concealer, I'm not joking with you, is like, what, £4 maybe? Do not sleep on the drugstore. I'm very aware that I'm looking super oily. Now, if you ever start off with such a radiant, dewy base and you're looking like this, it is not ideal to go in straight away with your powder puff, right? Now, you can do it, obviously, like, it's totally up to you. But if you really want to make your makeup look flawless and you don't want the powder to cling to the skin in one area, you need to grab your loose powder. Obviously, it's going to be Huda Beauty Easy Bake because I absolutely adore it. And then I'm going to put some in here. A brush which has a lot of movement like this. This is a P. Louise one. I got it in a set. Really push the brush in there. Get that evenly coated. Now we're going to go in and lightly dust all around the face. Now, what this is going to do is when we apply the powder with the powder puff, it's going to minimize that amount of clinging on. You know, like sometimes you've ever done your powder and you've put it on and it just clings to your under and you're like, what the hell, it's just stuck to one area. If you just do a light dusting of powder like this, especially when you've done quite a dewy base like I have, and just pick up the product, keep going in there, this will just really, really help with that. And look at that difference, please. You still have the light bouncing back on certain areas. We don't look oily and we're looking even. And that is the main thing. You know, you don't want to do all that effort and then go in with a powder puff and be like, oh my God, I've just absolutely messed this up. Okay, but now we are going to go with the powder puff. I'm going to stick to using the Huda Beauty banana bread. I feel like I really want to treat myself to pound cake, but I'm in this kind of like headspace where I keep telling myself I need to try and finish off other products before I buy new ones. And I even said that about this other brow product that I'm going to use is I'm nearly out of this. So I bought myself a new brow pen, which I've been loving, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I made sure that this was basically near enough run out before I got this one. And I'm just trying to do that a little bit more this year going forward. Banana bread, we're just going to put going up. Really press that in there because, girl, I be creasing because I'm such an expressionate person. On the chin, on the other chin. Then I'm going to go up the side of my nose. I like to leave a little bit more on my nose because then when I do my nose contour, it helps just like blend it all. A little bit of a lazy girl reverse nose contour hack there. Right, then I'm going to grab the Ube birthday cake, which, as I mentioned in my 2024 loves, yes, this is like such a new thing for me. It's been in my everyday routine, guys. Like ever since this has been introduced to my life, I'm using it every single day. It is that blush transitional colour, you know? You can use a lighter blush for it, but sorry, I'm getting a numb bum. You can use a blush, obviously, to help you transition in that colour, but this just being here and in this sort of area, not being funny, like when I first saw this, I was shook when I took it out of the packaging because I was so surprised with like how lilac and pinky that looks, and I thought, oh my god, that's not going to suit me. It actually works miracles. Okay, so I go from here and then let it fade down. You see what I'm doing there? So this whole section, essentially. If you haven't got this powder, use a more brightening blush shade in between your darker blush and your powder. And then I'm actually going to cake on a little bit more, you know, because when I buff this off with the blusher, it's just going to help. And I'm not taking it super up to my lash line. Bronzer, I'm going to use the exact same bronzer that I used in my previous video. I just feel like it's such a nice shade. This is a P. Louise bronzer and it is in the shade Cookie Cut. And I'm just going to try and keep it a little bit more concentrated from the arch of my eyebrow backwards. Also, these Makeup by Ariel Morphe collaboration brushes, love them. They absolutely work a treat and I cannot tell you how much I've been using them. Just look at my content. You'll see these cream coloured handles in near enough every one of my videos recently. My trusty Zoeva 109 brush. I actually lost this for a while. I don't know where it went. But I found it again. And I was just like, I'm so glad I have you because it just gives me like the easiest nose contour ever. I don't even have to worry because it just does all the work for me. Like, look at that. The eye socket as well. Leave the nose contour like that for a second. And I'm going to go around the lips, a little bit underneath that jaw. I'm going to flick this up too. I'm going to soften the nose contour now. Now for blusher, I feel like I've just been loving the pinky blushes because I've been using the Ube birthday cake. So I have gone back to using my Made by Mitchell blush book. I honestly don't know why he ever discontinued these. Like, these are incredible for everyone and makeup artists. I think this was like £35 or something. I've got this one and the bronze book. And often they've been on like sale, so you can get them for like 15 quid or 20 quid. And I just think all those blushes for that price is phenomenal. It closes up into a book. It's perfect for traveling. Like, whenever I go on holiday, I normally always take these blushes with me. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little bit of Peachy Friday and Frill Joy though. Although I have been using this one the most, but we're going to switch it up today. So I'm going to start off with Frill Joy because that is the lightest shade, and I'm going to go right here. I love Frill Joy. I actually think Frill Joy and Milkshake are my favourite blushes from him, and 90s Nude. Now I'm going to use Peachy Friday at the tops of the cheekbones so we get a nice gradient. A little bit on top of the nose and also onto my forehead. This is probably not going to be a shock to so many of you because I've been using it constantly. Not just this one, but like a few other shades. These are the Beauty Light ones by Charlotte Tilbury, and this one is in the shade Pillow Talk. I really like it because it's kind of like a champagne pink, and I just feel like it goes really well with any kind of like blusher that I use. I've been putting it onto the backs of my hand. Probably seen this done a lot. Oh my god, no, too much come out. Zoeva 134. Zoeva is a makeup brush brand that I have genuinely had in my bag. Zoeva and Sigma brushes I've had ever since I started on YouTube, and I had braces. I was a teenager when I started on YouTube, and I still have some of these brushes even from then. Can you actually imagine, like, these brushes, most of them that I've got are probably like over 9 years old. Okay, you really want to make sure it's properly distributed on that brush because otherwise it can leave streaks on your face. Just look at that. I feel like in person this just looks so much better. It just makes your skin look radiant and beautiful. Oh, I just absolutely love it. And then if there's any areas, for example, if you've got like a spot or a breakout or somewhere you got a bit of texture, you can grab a small brush or you can grab your powder puff. And for example, I don't want too much shine to go too high up, like onto my under eyes, because obviously when you're talking and you're smiling, you're going to get creases and it's going to highlight that. I cannot wait for summer and spring. The only thing though that I do miss from like autumn, winter is makeup, because I feel like you can absolutely kind of like go to town and just pack it on and have so much fun with your makeup in this time of year, if you know what I mean. This is my Better Than chocolate palette. This is from Too Faced. This has so many gorgeous colours in there. These two in particular, gorgeous. I was going to go in with an eye base. I probably should have gone in with an eye base. Am I going to use an eye base? No. I'm sorry, but I don't need to use an eye base every day. Do you know what I mean? In the words of the GC, I just want to be me. Now I'm just going to blend out the edges now. I've packed on that colour. Can you see that gorgeous warmth that it just gives the eye? I really feel like this could be like my go-to glam brown. Like, I just feel like this is such a beautiful brown. Just going to run that on the under eye as well. Then I'm going to take that gorgeous shimmery copper. Are you seeing that? How nice is that colour? I do want to take that underneath the waterline as well though, because I really want that orange to pop. I actually love it so much. I bought myself some new lashes off a TikTok shop, and I picked up some more of the Doll Beauty XL Wispy. I did also buy like the normal one as well, but I just love how separated the XL Wispy ones are. And one thing about me is I love a separated lash. Just gonna line my tight line real quick. I'm just going to use the top of that to run along the lash line, because like I said, I have been using them, so I do have a little bit of shimmer and shine from my other looks that I've done using them. You should definitely use a kohl eyeliner to run on top of your lashes. You don't have to, but sometimes I just remind myself to use that because it's not shiny, so then it doesn't make the top of your lash line shiny either, which is nice. Looks a bit more natural. I say that knowing these lashes could never look natural. Okay, so whilst my lashes get tacky, because my battery has just told me that this has only got 10%, which is really annoying because I literally charged it before filming this. So one thing I recently got from TikTok shop, because I could not stop seeing it. Now I was kind of toying between the shades, but I ended up going with soft black, I want to say this is called. Am I absolutely talking rubbish right now, or is it? I don't know. One of these little edges, and then you've got the individual one. I just go from the bottom in the direction that the hair is grown. I must admit, I do prefer the other end. People really hyped this up, but I feel like the other end is better for more detail. This is such a good colour shade for me. So I do like a rough brush through like that, put the top on, give it a little shake, go to the one tip end, and then I'll just look at the eyebrow and be like, okay, cool, where's missing? So for example, here looks a little bit sparse. And then at the front, I'm just going to use my Maybelline one though for my little mole here, because I feel like it's a bit more warm tone, so it matches any kind of like moles or freckles that I go over, because I've got a few near my mouth here. Okay, I'm quickly just going to do the other eyebrow and pop the eyelashes on. I just had to quickly charge you because technology, don't you just love it? Lip liners, there have been 3 that have just been my go-to, and do you know what? I was just going to show one, but I don't think that's very fair. I'm going to show all 3. These 2 are by Jordana Tisha, and I love them. Hazelnut Harmony, let me swatch it for you. It's a really gorgeous pinky brown. And then we have Soft Suede. And at the time I bought these, she had like a deal where you could get like 2 lip liners with a slight discount. I recently tried the Lisa Eldridge makeup lip liners. I got 2 of them. This is in the shade 2N. You know what? I think the Soft Suede might go with my eyes a little bit better today, so I'm going to use Soft Suede, and I'm going to take off any residue and any more of that mask. That lip mask is sensational. Like, it honestly makes my lips feel so good. I really do want to try the MAC Cool Spice new lip liner, and I also want to go to MAC to get a Prep and Prime pen, because you know what, yeah, back in the day I used to use that all the time. I had the yellow one and the Radiant Rose one. Now my under eyes are quite dark. I feel like I need it more than ever, and I'm just on the hunt for a really good corrector. I love the sound of my little baby purring, and imagine that with a pinky gloss. This is the Huda Beauty one, and also I've been loving this colour because it has like a slight blue tone, so it makes your teeth look whiter. Okay, we need to put a little bit of mascara on, just, you know, the finishing touches. Oh, do you know what else is a really good lip liner? Beauty Bay. This one here, I need to probably do a full video. This one here is Beauty Bay, and this one is in the shade Saddle. I'm just going to use this collection one right now. Just pop some onto my bottom eyelashes. Before coming on camera, I used this mermaid thermal brush. We've been trying her out, so let me just show you. And then like here, for example, I'll just keep rolling that under, and then look at that. Bing. Just so we can get some different movement. That's so much nicer, isn't it? Run it through and then fling it back. And I hope you could just see why I'm loving all of these products. I just feel like the base looks really radiant. It's giving full glam. Tell me what you think of the eyebrows as well. I've kind of made them smaller now, and I kind of love them, but then I'm like, are the brows like fluffy enough? Is the shape good for my face? Do you know what I mean? Let me know. It's fine, you can be honest with me. I can handle it. I'm a big girl. Thanks for joining me.